Yo, what's up everyone? It's Colby Cheese, and I just did a video about the new item changes and how you can get so much armor pen and the viability of full AD teams. And I've been observing a couple of games and it just seems like this is becoming a new recurring theme, these full AD team comps. And once again, I'm seeing a game here in about the 2k elo range here. It's got Chaos, Yazuki, Celia, Shaun of the Dead, who's actually been doing a new interesting start with his supports where he's been doing a Doran shield and he's got that total biscuit of rejuvenation. He already placed down his ward for the early vision as well, and so he's just relying on his heal and just early, I guess, dominance and careful playing to avoid ganks rather than having those wards early on. So we'll see how that works out for them. And also, once again, this is going to be one of those situations where the enemy team is probably going to be building quite a bit of armor in order to counter out this full AD team comp. So let's see if this is going to be successful. I mean, I pretty much saw it work out once before, but maybe it was a fluke and maybe it still isn't viable. But I have a pretty good idea that Chaos is going to be doing the standard Brutalizer, Last Whisper type build that you would see from Arcade Angeloid before the patch, and then the same thing is probably going to happen from Yazuki, and I'm sorry for missing that, but I was just talking. But it looks like Yazuki's actually going to be doing this blue buff here. Chris comes in, and I mean, it is his blue, so he's going to try his best to stop this from happening. And he doesn't exactly take the blue, but he will be getting a nice first blood kill onto Yazuki there. And can he get away? Yes, he is going to escape nicely as the rest of his team follows up onto that fight there. Outlaw does escape though with the blue buff, so he'll be good to go. Oh, maybe he escapes. I don't know. He's going to be jumped onto here by Azingi. I don't think Azingi can actually finish this off. I mean, even if Chris comes in there, all he's got is his little axe throw, and he's almost out of mana. But, oh wow, now we got Demace coming in. And I don't think they're going to die, but they did spend a lot of time actually chasing him around. So that gives Chaos quite a bit of time there in the mid lane. And he is going to be 1v1, obviously, so it's nothing really out of the ordinary. But he did a really good job against the Katarina there, already being level 2. Pushed her out of the lane at level 1. And that's pretty smart as well, since he does have that early dominance. He actually picked up a crystalline flask and several health potions, as well as a ward early on, in order to just have that big dominance from massive amounts of regen. And now he's going to be playing against Azingi, as Azingi has to hold on to the lane. And actually, Chaos is in a pretty good situation here, as Azingi kind of puts himself in a bad spot, missing his knockup, and Chaos just needs one more, and there it is. Boom. Another kill for, or sorry, one kill for Chaos in the mid lane. That's going to be really bad for Katarina, as she's already shoved down to 2 levels behind Chaos, and he got that kill. So even though she didn't die, it's almost as if she did, since Azingi actually came up into the lane and fed that. So already you're going to see her life diminishing quite rapidly. Chaos is going to be good to go, and I imagine looks like he has 2 more ticks of those flasks, so he's going to finish off the rest of those charges, and then he'll be good to go. Top lane did get dove here, so let's jump back and watch that. I'm just trying to pay attention to this new AD setup here. But nothing really out of the ordinary. Looks like Outlaw just came up level 3 with the double buffs and is going to land onto Chris for an easy pickup there. He didn't really have any escapes. I think he might have actually used them in that early on fight trying to deal with his blue buff, but I'm not sure if he did or not. It just feels like that's what happened. And I'm just missing stuff all over the place. Sorry, it's been a while since I've actually tried to do a full game commentary. I'm not the best camera guy apparently, so anyway, Sia on bottom lane here. It wasn't even a gank or anything. Oh, he steps on a trap and then gets taken down from the dot. Actually, he got taken really low from the Q, but it was the dot from that trap that actually killed Vayne there, so that's pretty interesting. And Chaos still doing a really good job here against Young Mini, and so he's probably going to have to back out of the lane real soon, otherwise he's just going to get easily dove there. Chaos Ignite is not back up yet, but he could still do a full burst combo potentially. I don't know if he has enough mana for it. Let's see. 55 plus, he might have just enough to do it, but I don't think he'll be able to shoot out his spear in that combo. He's going to have to wait for that mana regen from his flask to actually take effect, and Azingi is showing presence here, so Chaos is not going to want to tower dive while Azingi's in place there, so he might just go ahead and shove this in and go back to buy some items soon. Bottom lane is getting pinged heavily there. As I guess they're saying, hey guys, we really need gank because they are shoved up to our turrets, which, yeah, that's true. They are shoved up to the turret there quite a bit, and they've been there for a while, and they have no wards because of the fact that Shaun of the Dead decided, well, you know, I don't need wards. I'm just going to go tanky mode and just punish you guys as much as possible, and it seems to be working out quite well in his favor as well. Chaos shoving to the lane as well, so really Azingi has a lot of lanes that he has to put pressure on, but he can only pressure one at a time, and they know this, so they are just all shoving in as hard as possible since they all pretty much win their lanes for the most part. Azingi will be putting some pressure on that bottom lane as he wants to help them out as much as he can. He wants to get this vein fed. Once you get your vein fed, that's going to be really difficult for the enemy teams to really deal with that. So Azingi came in straight from the lane, not going to be in range to actually make anything happen. He knows that, so he's like, screw it, I'm just going to back off, go for my small golems, and work on farming. He needs to get strong enough to actually go in there and handle these team fights once they start to crop up a little bit later into the game. Yuzuki is now shoved to his turret, and so Chris is going to have to be a little bit careful. He does have a ward there, so it's somewhat safe for him to do so unless the Skarner comes out from this area right here. But overall, he should be fairly safe for now. Kiox is looking pretty strong. Young Mini really in a scary position. He hasn't actually gone back. He's just trying his best to actually stay up in there. And I missed another fight. God, this is terrible. You guys are probably going to hate on me right now. Please don't hate on me too much, man. I'm just trying to watch these other scary lanes. But Azingi comes in. Actually does land a knock up there, but Demes gets taken down by Sia, and it's looking fairly bad. Is this going to be a double kill here? I don't know. Sia, oh, nice job. Actually got the passive tick while standing in that bush, and he is able to take down the vein. Looks like Azingi will fall after tower diving, but he does pick up the kill onto Shaun of the Dead. So overall, that was an interesting trade. They got 2 kills for blue team, but several more for red as well. Looks like Chaos was about to roam to the bottom lane, was like, well, never mind. They already took care of business down there, so I'm just going to use my ultimate to farm some creeps and go back to base, as he currently is out of flasks and has no more items, or sorry, has lots of gold to buy items. So that's what he's going to do. He's got 1,780 gold right now. I'm guessing he's going to pick up some boots and a brutalizer, I would imagine. And there it is, boots and brutalizer. Yep, that is the name of the game, and sight ward plus health potion. So he's got not only the flask, but health potion in as well. So he's ready and he's prepared to take a lot of poke damage and not really care about it, since he's just gonna regen it all back up. And at this point, he's actually out farming the Katarina by twice as much. So he's doing a really good job in that lane so far. Looks like Outlaw wants to come in here and steal this blue buff if at all possible. Azingi will see him coming in there. Who's going to get that smite off? And it will be Outlaw. I don't even know if Azingi has his up. Let's see. Yeah, Azingi's actually had no smite in order to take that buff. Outlaw flashes out of the knockup, but Azingi does die. So this is doing really, I mean, red team is actually doing really well. And top lane looks like they do. Man, there's just kills all over the place. I can't follow everything. Alright, so this is not me missing stuff. This is just stuff happening all at the same time. So basically, Virus just gets taken down on the bottom lane. Sia and Shaun of the Dead really just way outclassing them, and Demes just kind of like letting them do damage. I don't really know what the point of that one was. I don't know if he was lagging or what, but he just kind of stood there and let her kill him. So that's a double kill for Sia, and he's going to be extremely powerful right now, as it already 5-0. He's got that BF sword. Cool thing is that now BF sword is only 1550, so it's much cheaper to buy that and pick it up. Oh, nice job here. Young Mini trying to come down and make some work happen, but Shaun of the Dead was tanky enough to handle it for just a little bit, long enough for Sia to actually grab the kill onto him after he kills the support. So really clutch play there by Shaun of the Dead. Although he still died, he allowed Sia to live long enough in order to pick up the kill of his zone. So that's 6-0 now. He's going to be really powerful. They really want to get him shut down, but he's in a position right now that's going to be very difficult for them to do so. Azingi really getting pressure hard. Chaos almost able to pick up the kill, but did not have his ignite on Zig. If he had just ignited him, he would have taken that kill, and he's probably punching himself right now for having forgotten to actually lay that down. I know whenever I forget to ignite people and it would have picked up the kill, I always get pissed off, but he probably thought that he had enough damage to take the kill without the ignite, and he wanted to save that for the Katarina. At least that's my only other explanation for him doing that, other than just forgetting the fact that he had that in the first place. So Already, red team is in a really good position at 11 kills to 4. This is where a lot of people give up, but you never should. As all it takes is a couple mistakes and blue team can be right back into this. Chaos going to be coming around here and getting taken down. Young Mini might go down to the Ignite as well, so there it is. Ignite actually works out in his favor in that particular situation. Alright. So they are doing alright. From what I can tell, that's 2 kills for Katarina. It's definitely not as much as they want, but oh my god, more kills top. That was like a 1v1 kill. What is happening up here? I'm just going to back up a little bit more and see exactly what happens. So you look, he does have the red buff, and he probably feels a lot stronger than Chris. Since Chris just missed his axe there, he's going to go in full force. And if he dives this, I can see where the problem is going to be. Yeah, there's the kill from Chaos. And here we go, axe throw from Chris. Izuki's going to go in full force with his ultimate and try and lay it on him. And they pretty much just auto-attack themselves at the same time, getting a traded couple of kills there. Outlaw will be holding in this lane while Chaos is coming back from the base. In fact, Chaos might even decide to go down and gank a lane with his ultimate, although everyone's kind of dead at this point, so there's not a lot of situations that they can really choose to do that in. And we already have that Sight Stone being picked up from Shaun of the Dead. Really do love that new support item. So you got that Philo Stone, and since you don't have your actual Heart of Gold, you have to get your health from somewhere, and they said, okay, we'll give you health from Sight Stone. And he's got another 100 health from that Doran Shield, so it's basically like he does have a Heart of Gold as far as the health is concerned. And then the Sight Stone allows him to not really need that extra gold per 10 that Heart of Gold would have provided, seeing as how it's basically free wards from there on out. And that's going to help him out quite tremendously. And then he's going to have an extra 200 health once he upgrades that Sight Stone into the next version of it. And there's ultimate. Oh my god, nice job though. That shield from Virus actually saved him there. So he used barrier in order to block the ultimate from Caitlyn, which would have definitely taken him down. And then he actually dies from Azingi getting a nice knock up. Demis throwing down the slow, and Chaos comes in here. This is kind of a scary position for them to be in. He gets knocked up. In addition to Outlaw, Virus in a really scary spot with that low health, so he kind of has to stay out of that. Azinga does take down Chaos, and they're trying their best to finish up Cho'Gath, but he's tanky enough to actually handle this, and they might pick up another kill in Outlaw here. And there's the double kill from Shaun of the Dead. What the hell? So Shaun of the Dead going beast mode here, picking up Katarina and Cho'Gath in that fight. And so that's a really scary support as far as I'm concerned. If he gets another kill here, I'm going to laugh really, really hard. Oh, okay, there's that. So he actually forces a flash after getting 2 kills. And so he's probably going to be in a scary situation. I don't know, Outlaw comes in. Is this going to be enough? Shaun of the Dead out of mana. Outlaw is really low. Virus can chase this very easily, and I don't think he's actually going to be able to get away here. All he needs is 1 snowball, and he's done. Boom, so Demis picks up the kill, grabbing 360 gold from his small spree. What an interesting little bunch of fights going on here. It's like really hard to stop talking because they just keep fighting. Oh, and Demis is going to be in a really scary position. It runs right into Caitlyn's Q. There's the trap shot or net shot or whatever you want to call it. Shooting himself in the... he shot the wrong thing. So he shot a minion instead of Demis, and that probably would have helped him grab the kill. And in fact, it actually stuck him in a spot where Young Mini was able to jump in there and pick up a free kill. So that's not good. This is a position where blue team might actually be able to come back if red keeps making plays like this. Chaos is probably thinking in his head, man, come on guys, how am I going to carry you if you keep feeding? That's pretty much what happens to me anyways. If I'm in a game and we're doing really well and everybody just starts to mess up, I'm like, facepalm, no! Why you do this to me, team? Team, please. Team, please. Take that from Wings of Death, by the way. Alright, so I'm going to speed it up just a bit until everybody gets back to the lanes here. Looks like Young Mini doing fairly well. He's got double Magic Pen as well as Elixir of Fortitude to help him out in a situation where he might need that extra bit of HP. Let's see if that actually works out for him in a fight or if he just goes down anyways. And it looks like Chaos is going to be doing that build that I was talking about in my earlier video where you pick up a Brutalizer, a Black Cleaver, and then a second Brutalizer, since they do stack after you get that Black Cleaver, and then you can pick up a Last Whisper in order to get the maximum amount of armor pin. Looks like Chris is able to clean up the Riven up top. Outlaw makes sure to grab him so that he can't escape and finishes up that kill there. Meanwhile, bottom lane is getting jumped onto here. Sia is full health with an ultimate, and Shaun of the Dead does go down, unfortunately for him. So let's see if we can grab another bit of a kill. Young Mini really strong though, and I don't know if it's going to help him out too much. Double kill for Young Mini, and he is really pushing himself back into this game now at 6 kills by all of his roam into the bottom lane. And that is just really huge for blue team now, as they are still far behind on gold, but that type of play is going to help them catch back up, no problem. Okie dokie, let's just see what is going to happen next. I mean, I've been trying to commentate on this, but it's like everything's happening so fast I can't even think straight. Maybe it's just because I'm kind of tired and sick lately, so I do have to apologize if I'm speaking a little bit softer today, but I don't know, I feel like crap. I'm doing my best for you guys though. So yeah, love you guys. Gotta make them videos. And Chaos coming in here. Yeah, you can definitely see he's ready to build that brutalizer. I guess he's just like, well, I can't afford the Black Cleaver just yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and work almost up to the next brutalizer. Yuzuki here is just going to sit there and look for an opportunity to go on to Chris. He takes an axe to the face and he's going to take tons of damage. He was baiting that out though. He's waiting for the ultimate from Chris to go down before he ulties. And there it is. Outlaw grabs him. Nice ulti from Kazuki to try and finish up his HP. There's the stun and they do clean him up. So very nicely played by Yuzuki, actually able to bait that out. Chris in a very strong position, able to take him down one-on-one, no problem. But once that Skarner comes in there, that kind of changes the way things work out. And Azingi actually wants to come in here. Yuzuki is very low. Oh no, not gonna get the knock up. He was too far away and Yuzuki did see that coming, so he's able to use his great mobility to just get right out of there, no problem. Seems like Sia is gonna do the standard AD build. Gonna go for, from what I can tell, it looks like an actual, you know, the standard setup with Phantom Dancer, and that's going to allow him to have lots of single target damage. Pretty standard setup. He needs to be able to take down Young Mini as fast as possible because Young Mini is the one jumping onto him. And really, I think that's what it comes down to. They did add in new options for doing lots of AoE damage for your AD carries. However, the single target damage builds are still more viable to single targets. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you have an assassin like that or a bruiser that's always going to be diving onto you, you definitely want to pick up that single target damage so you can just bam, bam, pop them down. But if everybody's tanking, everyone's going to be jumping on you, that's when you want to go for those AoE items and try and hit everyone at once. So I guess that's just a rule of thumb, at least for now, to think about until, you know, people really start to solidify more builds. And I don't even know if we're going to have solidified builds now in this current meta with all of the new item setups that you can do. There's so many new options that it's really just going to give people a lot more freedom to do what they want to do. Diminish running into both of those traps, which is going to give them vision. Obviously, they get a free dragon there. Not much they can do to stop that. Virus in a really scary position. He has no turret here. Nice knockback, though. And you see that Outlaw actually did try to use his ulti, but it didn't actually go off because he was knocked back out of range before it went off. Shaun of the Dead using his flash to get out of that knockup, but he still is in a bad position. Here comes the jump. Lots of AoE damage coming in. Demit's going to be trying some bush tactics, but now with Chaos there, he's going to use the help of Sia to clean this up very nicely. And Shaun of the Dead actually grabbing a kill onto the Katarina. Really not the person you want to grab all the kills. He's actually at 5 right now. But either way, I mean, he's going to be a really strong support. He's already got a lock with Iron Solari, so he's going to have lots of support shielding for his team, as well as his ultimate. So it's going to be very hard for them to kill people at this position, or this point in time, I should say. And he's actually working on, I guess that built into a, whatever the lifesteal item is. I can't remember the item names anymore. There's so many new items, I can't even remember the ones that have been here forever. But yeah, the Zeeks. I think the Zeeks is what I'm trying to say. And so what do we got here? Yuzuki is pretty strong as well, and he's got his Black Cleaver already built. Same thing for Chaos, and he's got a second Brutalizer worked on. We got 3 long swords for Riven, so it's already clear that she's going to be going for that Last Whisper and the Brutalizer setup. And same here for Chaos. He does have a Brutalizer, and he picked up a long sword, meaning that he will also be going for that Last Whisper. So we're going to have the double ADs on the team picking up the maximum amount of armor pen possible, pretty much making it really not a big deal if the enemy team builds all armor against them. That's really scary, to be perfectly honest with you. 43 flat pen plus 65% percentage amounts penetration onto your armor. I mean, that's wow. You have to have almost 200 armor just to have positive armor. Whoops, just like fell down. Anyways, let me unpause the game here. And there we go. So let's see where we're going. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up because it seems like we're in a lull right now. Yeah, I recently got like a stand-up desk. So I'm doing all my commentating while standing up. I just slipped on my little blanket that I have on the floor. And they're going to be coming in here, pushing this turret down. Looks like red team really does have the advantage at this point. I mean, obviously they've been ahead all game, but blue team look like they might actually make a comeback there for a while. And if they can actually hold this off for a little bit, they could still come back. Outlaw getting really low, could potentially go down there. Chaos is extremely low as well. He will die now. Young Minis gets taken down though. Ribbon grabbing a double kill. And there's the ultimate from Sia doing just a little bit more damage. Nice knockup from Mazingi is going to hold them back so the rest of blue team can escape. But overall, that was an even trade, 2 for 2. But red team will be winning out in the end because they will be taking down the turret there.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And that is exactly what they came for. They got their objective and they probably should be backing off very soon so that blue team can't turn around and get a free Baron out of this situation. Outlaw pretty much not going to be in trouble from Nunu. Now, if the rest of the team was there, he would have been slowed by the snowball and then taken down, but they were not in position. So we've got ourselves a Glacial Shroud. Zingan getting extremely tanky as much as possible, using that Shirelius to help out in team engages as well. Young Mini going for a Leandri's Torment. I'm not sure if I like that as a first item for a, you know, for a build on Katarina, but I mean, the reason I say that is because she's not really going to get that extra 10% unless she's comboing it with maybe with Cho'Gath or with Nunu. So as long as she attacks targets that her team slows first, she'll be getting that extra 10%. Otherwise, she's only getting 5% whenever she's assaulting things on her own. Either way, though, it's a decent item and definitely works out really well. We'll just have to kind of see. We'll just have to kind of see if that's gonna work. I mean, I can't get the chat to go away now after I like fell down and spammed all the keys. All right, here we go. Red team pushing back, and they do not have Riven there, which she is a large part of their damage at this point. They need to be very careful right now. Oh, nice job. Look at this. So Shaun of the Dead, using those 5 kills to his advantage, is going to be picking up the Runic Bulwark. And I guess that's actually what that what the item was building into, not a Zeke. So I was wrong about that. I kind of felt like I was wrong, but I couldn't remember what exactly it built into. So yeah, Runic Bulwark, the new item, turning that Aegis of the Legion into the full item. And this is going to be a pretty nasty fight here. Already several kills there. Chris grabbing one as well. Sia taking down a Zingy. This is looking pretty scary. Most of red team has fallen now, but the double kill for Sia. And now he is going to be taking down Virus. Virus tries to flash back in for one more auto attack. Doesn't get it. There's a triple kill for Sia. And the rest of blue is low. They need to get out of there. Ultimate taking a quadra kill, and Chris now going to go down as well. Not able to get in range, and a pentakill for Sia. Turning around that fight into red team's favor. Sia being in a really strong position now. As much as I can tell. In fact, look at this item here. So picking up Führer on his boots allows him to kite so much more effectively. In addition, he's got the Phantom Dancer for the move speed. Even though they nerfed the move speed just a little bit, he gets that, you know, that extra amount that he normally would have had before from the Führer on his boots, and then that red buff to keep them slowed. I mean, that is just so much kite potential, and you saw it right there in that fight. After he picked up that Penta, he's going to go ahead and duo this dragon with the help of Shaun of the Dead. And red team looking really, really strong now after that fight. And for a while, though, it actually seemed like blue was going to come out ahead of that one until Sia was like, screw you guys, smack down. Get out of here. So let's speed it up just a bit until we get into another situation to comment on. Oh, there we go. Here's the ruby sightstone from Nunu, and she actually hasn't picked up her sightstone or her ruby sightstone yet, as she's been using her extra gold for team buffs mostly. And double chain vest here, so it looks like the Olaf really working on that armor as much as possible. He's got 245 armor, and so yeah, that's quite a bit. And I imagine he wants to go straight on to Sia as fast as possible in order to try and shut her down, since she is so far ahead with those 12 kills and she is just beasting people down. She's almost got an infinity edge built up, using her ulti, taking young Minnie down by quite a bit, so some decent poke in there, and they need to be careful. Oh, looks like Chris is gonna go for it. He's using his axe, slows down Chaos, but actually changes directly into Sia, forcing her out of the fight, and the rest of blue does engage past the turret, probably putting themselves in a scary position here. Nice job, Chris, actually shutting down Sia, but the rest of red team is able to dive all the way past the turret and clean up all of blue team. So that is really unfortunate. Chris did a good job of taking down the most fed character on their team. However, it just wasn't enough. The rest of them are so far behind, they're not able to clean this up. And Chris taking so much damage right now. He's trying to stop them, but he just can't do enough damage. They're all there, 4-on-1, not the right situation. I think that's probably gonna mean GG, at least very soon. Red team shoving in this inhibitor here, and it's gonna take just an act of God for red team to lose at this point, being more than 10,000 gold ahead. Inhibitor down, it's really difficult to come back once you have lost that inhibitor. So let's go ahead and speed this back up. Let's see if they do decide to go for a risky Baron play or potentially catch some. Ooh, man, they almost caught Chaos into that fight there, and they want to pick up at least this mid turret if possible, but everybody is already back in the lane, ready to defend that, and there's not much options for them to do anything at this point. They have finally lost bottom turret to a couple of creeps, so I guess that's, you know, a little bit of a benefit for them. Chris taking so much damage. There's ulti. It is going to be blocked by Demes. I don't even think it would have been enough to take him down. He's got so much armor right now, 248. He's like, well, you're going to be an all AD team. I'm going to pick up 248 armor. So I wonder if I can actually calculate how much armor pen that's going to be. Oh, holy crap, what the heck? I don't know how that happened. Some YouTube video just started playing in the background. So anyways, there was a kill right onto Yuzuki, so he got caught out of position. Definitely every little victory does count for blue team if they want to come back and win this. Unfortunately, they just don't have enough turrets down to make some kind of ace base push comeback victory, and usually that's what you see happen is, like, if the teams are doing decent and they're able to at least take down most of the turrets, then if they get some lucky ace, oh wow, Shaun of the Dead grabbing another kill on the new, then they can make a comeback and like shove down into the Nexus, but it's not going to be possible here. In fact, red team using their immense strength right now. Shaun of the Dead comes in, knocks him up, really doing a great job. I mean, this just shows how important supports are, or at least good support play is in a team game. And Lulu, such an amazing support. Shaun of the Dead showing us that he can play her very well. Already 6 kills, actually more kills than the Skarner, and tied up with Chaos, in fact. So I'm curious, like, obviously she has no farm, but she has literally more gold than Chaos, who is a mid laner. More gold than Chaos because of, I guess, the gold per 10 item or whatever. So that's kind of interesting to think about, the fact that supports can have now as much gold. Obviously, yeah, lots of assists and lots of kills, but yeah, it's so damn strong right there. But that's going to be the game. Red team picking it up. Full AD team comp is especially viable, at least if played well from what I can tell. And so thank you guys for watching this commentary. Make sure that you, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to be doing lots more of this stuff. And I'll see you around for the next one. This is Colby Cheese. Peace out.